Get ready to rev up, because Paul Newman's car collection is about to take you on a wild ride through a life where Hollywood met horsepower. Known for Cool Hand Luke and The Sting, Newman was more than a star. He was a racer whose soul roared on the track. Racing wasn't just a thrill. It was his sanctuary, a place of grace where he traded fame for the raw joy of speed. From a humble Datsun to a Le Mans legend, his cars were partners in a quest for meaning, each one carrying his dreams and heartaches. Buckle up for 14 machines that defined his second life. And watch out for number 3. It's a sneaky beast hiding a monster's bite. Datsun 510, 1968-1973. In 1972, fresh off filming Winning, Newman caught the racing bug and turned to Bob Sharp Racing, his lifelong ally in motorsport. Under the alias P.L. Newman to dodge Hollywood's spotlight, he began honing his craft at Lime Rock Park, Connecticut, just a stone's throw from his home. The 510, nicknamed the poor man's BMW, was no glamour queen. Powered by a 1.6-liter inline-4 engine delivering a modest 97 horsepower at 5,600 RPM and 100 lb-ft of torque at 3,600 RPM, paired with a 3-speed, automatic or optional 4-speed manual. It crawled to 60 millimeters in about 13.5 seconds, with a top speed of 100 millimeters. Its magic lay in a lightweight chassis, McPherson strut front suspension, and independent rear suspension with semi-trailing arms, making it a nimble darling among grassroots racers. For Newman, the 510 was a baptism by fire, a humble machine that tested his soul and shaped his destiny. Imagine the scene. A 47-year-old movie star, his fame a double-edged sword, facing smirks from seasoned racers who saw him as a dilettante. His hands trembled on the wheel, not from fear but from the electric thrill of proving himself. Early track days were raw, visceral, marked by sweat-soaked helmets and the sting of rookie mistakes. A brutal crash at the 1973 SCCA runoffs at Road Atlanta left the 510 mangled, but Newman's grit shone through. Bob Sharp's team salvaged its heart, engine, suspension, soul, and grafted it onto a new chassis, getting him back on the grid. Hudson Hornet, 1951-1954. It's producing 145 horsepower at 3,800 RPM, later boosted to 170 with a twin H-power dual carburetor setup. Its step-down chassis, lowering the floor pan between frame rails, gave it a ground-hugging center of gravity, while unibody construction and aerodynamic curves made it a track terror, winning 27 of 34 Grand National races in 1952. Doc Hudson, inspired by Thomas's 92 Hornet, was a retired racer turned mentor, his gruff wisdom echoing Newman's own journey. Recording Doc's lines, Newman, then 81 and battling leukemia, poured his heart into the role, his voice trembling with the weight of a life scarred by triumphs and losses. "Doc was me, in a way," he told a Pixar producer, reflecting on his own racing setbacks like the 1973 runoffs crash and personal tragedies, including his son's death. The role was cathartic, a chance to revisit his racing youth while facing mortality. Porsche 935, 1977 to 1983. Teamed with Dick Barber and Rolf Stommelen for Dick Barber Racing, Newman drove this turbocharged Titan to a stunning second overall and a Group 5 class victory, finishing just behind a works Porsche 936 in a rain-soaked, heart-pounding epic. The 935, a fire-breathing evolution of the 911, was powered by a 3.2-liter twin-turbo flat-six, delivering 589 horsepower at 7,000 on RPM and 439 lb-ft of torque at 5,400 RPM through a 4-speed manual gearbox. With a curb weight of 2,138 pounds, a massive rear wing, and wide fenders for aerodynamic grip, It could hit 186 km/h, outpacing many factory prototypes. Its Hawaiian tropic livery, vibrant yellow and orange, drew record crowds, Newman's star power turning Le Mans into a global spectacle. This race was more than a competition. It was a crucible of emotion, where Newman's Hollywood and racing worlds collided in a blaze of glory. Picture him in the dead of night, rain blurring his visor, the 935's turbo whine a lifeline as he navigated the Sarth circuit's treacherous turns. The exhaustion was brutal. 24 hours of relentless focus, muscles aching, mind razor-sharp. Teammates recall his steely determination, the way he'd flash a tired grin during driver changes, bonding with the crew over shared dreams. 1970. Triumph TR6, 1968-1976. It's 2.5. Liter inline 6, delivering 104 horsepower at 4,500 RPM and 143 lb-ft of torque at 3,000 RPM through a 4-speed manual with optional overdrive. Weighing 2,400 pounds, it featured McPherson strut front suspension, independent rear suspension with semi-trailing arms, and front disc brakes, making it a spirited performer. In 1976, Newman raced a retired Group 44 TR6 in SCCA D production at Road Atlanta, dueling Lee Muller's TR7 in a heart-pounding battle. He finished second but clinched his first SCCA National Championship, a milestone that left him grinning ear to ear. The TR6 was Newman's classroom, its scalloped hood and throaty exhaust a canvas for his growing skill. Picture him at Road Atlanta, the crowd roaring, his heart racing as he pushed the TR6's limits, its Lucas headlights glowing in the dusk. "He was one of us," Muller said, recalling Newman's humility post-race, laughing off the loss over beers with rivals. The TR6 sharpened his instincts, its lively handling teaching him to dance with the track. That championship was a turning point, a validation of his place among racers, easing the sting of Hollywood scrutiny. Now raced vintage in Corolla's collection, the TR6 evokes Newman's early days, sweaty palms, heart-pounding laps, and the joy of earning respect. It was more than a car. It was a confidant that whispered resilience in every rev, a symbol of his relentless drive to prove himself. 1979, Nissan 280ZX, twin-turbo V8, 1978-1983. One of 3 experimental chassis, it ditched the stock 2.8-liter inline 6 for a twin-turbo Chevrolet small-block V8, pumping out a staggering 933 horsepower at 7,800 RPM through a race-spec 5-speed manual. Weighing 2,500 pounds, it featured a tubular frame, fiberglass body panels, a massive rear wing, and adjustable coil-over suspension. Its wide stance and slick tires gripped like a vice, dominating SCCA, GT1, and IMSA events in the early 1980s. Driving this monster was like taming a dragon, Newman said, the power thrilling yet terrifying. Each race was a high-stakes dance, the 280ZX's raw might pushing him to the edge of control. Picture him at Road America, the V8's roar drowning out the crowd, his heart pounding as he wrestled through high-speed corners. A near spin in 1981 tested his nerve, but he saved it, earning a podium and a nod from rivals. "That's PLN," a competitor said, awe in his voice. Preserved in Corolla's collection, the 200DZT LEX evokes Newman's fearless spirit, the joy of pushing limits, the fear of losing control, the pride of mastering a machine that few could. It wasn't just fast. It was a feral extension of his racing soul, wearing his initials with pride. 1986, Nissan 300ZX IMSA GTO. 1984-1989. Its 3.0-liter turbocharged V6, tuned to over 600 horsepower at 7,500 RPM, roared through a sequential 5-speed gearbox. powering a tubular chassis with composite body panels and slick Goodyear tires. Weighing 2,600 pounds, it featured double wishbone suspension, adjustable dampers, and massive ventilated disc brakes. At Road Atlanta in October 1986, Newman edged teammate Jim Fitzgerald by a mere 0.6 seconds, clinching his fourth SCCA national championship in a photo finish that left the crowd roaring. That victory was a tidal wave of emotion, years of crashes and doubts melting away in a scream of triumph as he crossed the line. "It felt like my Oscar," he told his crew, tears welling as they mobbed him in the pits. The 300ZX was his partner in transformation, proof he was no Hollywood pretender. The race wasn't just about speed, it was about heart. Newman's mechanical intuition, honed over years, guiding every shift. Rivals respected him, fans adored him, and his crew became family. Now in Corolla's exhibit, occasionally raced in vintage events, the 300ZX stands as a monument to Newman's skill and soul. A machine that carried him to the peak of his racing dreams, its turbo whine echoing his unyielding passion. 1989, Oldsmobile Cutlass, 1988-1997, powered by a 3.8-liter Buick V6. It featured a reinforced chassis, full roll cage, double wishbone suspension with adjustable shocks, and four-wheel disc brakes with racing calipers. Lightweight alloy wheels and slick tires gave it surprising agility. Newman raced it in the 1989 Trans Am Series, joined by NFL legend Walter Payton, turning heads as it outpaced flashier rivals. For Newman, the Cutlass was pure joy, a chance to prove that ordinary could be extraordinary. He relished sneaking up on Porsches, his grin wide as he carved corners at Mid-Ohio. "It's like pulling a fast one," he chuckled to his crew, his eyes sparkling with mischief. The car's unassuming looks hid a fierce heart, mirroring Newman's own underdog spirit. Payton's involvement added camaraderie, their banter a highlight of pit stops. Now, in Corolla's collection, the Cutlass embodies Newman's knack for finding magic in the everyday, a quiet nod to his love for defying expectations with heart and hustle. Volvo 960 Wagon, 1990-1998, built by Ross Converse of Converse Engineering, it retained its stock exterior, boxy lines, roof rack and all, to dodge attention. With rear-wheel drive, independent rear suspension, and a beefed-up 4-speed automatic, it could outrun Corvettes while looking like a grocery getter. Newman loved the shock value, leaving sports cars in the dust on public roads, his laughter echoing through the cabin. He even convinced David Letterman to commission a near-identical build. This wagon was Newman's playful rebellion, a blend of humor and horsepower that let him escape fame's weight. Driving it, he felt free, the V8's growl a reminder of his racing roots. "It's my little secret," he told Letterman, his smile sly. The 960 wasn't raced competitively, but its legend grew among enthusiasts, a testament to Newman's love for stealth performance. Now a cult icon, it evokes the joy of his lighter side. A man who found thrill in the unexpected, his heart soaring with every burnout. Chevrolet Corvette C4, 1984-1996. Its 5.7-liter small-block V8, powering SCCA GT1 races. Weighing 2,800 pounds, it featured a unitized chassis, aluminum suspension components, and digital instrumentation, with race mods including a roll cage, coilovers, and slick tires. Newman raced C4s into his 60s, his standout moment a fourth-place finish at Watkins Glen in 2007 at age 82, defying time in a GT1 Class ZR1. Those late races were emotional marathons, his body frail, but his spirit fierce. "I'm not done yet," he'd tell his crew, his eyes burning with resolve. A crash at Daytona in 1985 had shaken him, but he climbed back in, proving his courage. Maintained by Bob Sharp Racing, the C4s in Corolla's collection are high-octane relics of Newman's relentless drive, each one a testament to a man who chased the checkered flag until the end, his heart racing with every lap. 1977, Nissan 200SX, 1977, 1979. It's built by Bob Sharp Racing, was Paul Newman's breakout star, dominating SCCAC production with an astonishing 19 wins in 22 races from 1977-1979. Based on the S10 chassis, its 2.0-liter L20B inline-4 was tuned to 150 HP with a 10.0.1 compression ratio, Solex 50mm twin-choke carburetors, and a high-lift camshaft. Weighing 2,300 pounds, it featured a full roll cage, fiberglass fenders, and a race-tuned suspension with stiffer springs and adjustable dampers. Newman's skill shone, his precise lines and fearless cornering earning respect. Each win was a rush, a validation of his place among racers. "This is where I'm alive," he told his crew after a 1978 victory at Watkins Glen, his voice thick with emotion. The 200SX's success cemented his bond with Bob Sharp, their partnership a brotherhood forged in grease and glory. A spin at Portland in 1977 tested his resolve, but he recovered to podium, proving his mettle. Now in Corolla's collection, the 200SX is a shrine to Newman's early dominance, its sleek lines evoking the joy of those victory laps and the heart of a man who found his calling. 1967. Volkswagen Beetle Convertible, 1970. It's built by Jerry Eisert. Its stock shell hit a custom mid-engine chassis with a 5.0-liter Holman Moody Ford V8 and a ZF transaxle from the Ford GT40. Weighing 2,000 pounds, it featured reinforced frame rails and a tuned suspension for canyon-carving agility. Newman loved its deceptive power, shocking rivals on twisty roads. "It's like pulling a fast one," he laughed, relishing the Beetle's ability to humiliate sports cars. High-speed quirks, like aerodynamic lift, tested his skill, but he tamed it with a racer's finesse. Now a legend in Corolla's stable, the Beetle embodies Newman's playful genius, a machine that grinned as wide as he did. Its V8 roar, a testament to his love for mischief and speed. Nissan 350Z PLN Edition, 2003-2008. Based on the Z33, its 3.5-liter VQ35DE V6 produced 287 300 HP with some featuring Nismo upgrades, sport-tuned suspension, Brembo brakes, and aerodynamic kits. Painted in Newman's red, white, and blue livery, they honored his Bob Sharp racing legacy. Though not factory-made, they shone at car shows and in Corolla's collection. For fans, these cars are emotional relics, evoking Newman's passion. "It's like he's still racing," a collector said, tears in his eyes. The 350Z PLN carries his spirit, sleek, fierce, and forever tied to the track. A love letter to a man who lived for speed. 1987. Nissan 300ZX 2+2, 1983-1989. It's built by Bob Sharp Racing. Was Newman's last Nissan masterpiece, raced in the SCCA Trans Am series. Its 3.0-liter turbo V6, tuned to 650 HP, powered a 2,950-pound chassis with composite panels, a deep front air dam, and a rear wing. Newman owned this car, a rare honor, and raced it with fierce pride. Its sequential gearbox singing through 11 rounds, restored by Don Law Racing and showcased by Corolla at Goodwood in 2016. It's the ultimate monument to Newman's legacy. Each race was a love letter to the track, his heart soaring with every lap. "This is who I am," he told his crew, his voice thick with joy. The 300ZX 2+2 is Newman's soul in steel, a machine that carried his dreams to the finish line. Ferrari 308 GTS 1977-1985, its 2.9 city-liter V8 and 5-speed gated manual paired with Pininfarina's pop-up headlight design. A 1976 GTB, raced under Budweiser sponsorship, was the first 308 imported to the U.S., featured in Road and Track. It marked Newman's shift from star to driver, its 255 HP singing through tight corners. Driving it, Newman felt untouchable, the V8's wail lifting fame's weight. "This is freedom," he told a friend, his smile radiant. In Corolla's collection, the 308 is a prancing horse with a Hollywood heart, a symbol of his transformation from actor to racer. There you have it, the high-octane epic of Paul Newman's cars, each a chapter in a life lived at full throttle. From a Datsun's humble spark to a Nissan's final roar, these machines carried his dreams, fears, and soul. Newman raced for love, each car a partner in his quest for grace. Which one stole your heart?
Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more dives into Hollywood's hidden history.